All right, here we go. We're live. It's about 9:15 or so, or we're a few minutes late. I don't know if and we've got Chris Cadorette with us here this morning. Chris, I don't know if this is the solar flare thingamajig that we're having or what, but I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. I think was it the last time that I had you on? Were we over at Central Vermont Television?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
CVTV.
It's been a little while.
It's been a couple of years. So you're now the official title. You are the softball. Hang on, let me get it right here. The softball committee chair of the Freezing Fund for Families.
That's it.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
And you've been at this post now for
This is my 5th year. Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
So I think I recall you telling me that you kind of jumped into this thing when you were like, dare I even say, a kid.
A kid, yeah. My first year involved in the event itself was in 2006 as a participant, and I did that for a bunch of years. We ran the banner of the "We Freeze Ours to Kick Yours" team for a bunch of years.
Yes.
Yeah, and then.
So how old were you?
Oh, it was 2006, so whatever that is,
Yeah.
13 years ago.
Yeah.
So it was, I don't know, early 20s.
Yeah. But out of high school.
Yeah, out of high school, out of college.
This is so cool, man. So where's Corey Touchette? What's his title now?
So Corey is the executive director. We've grown so much in the last 5 years, man. It's been crazy. So we have a whole board of directors. We have 2 different committees. We have 3 different programs that we run. It's insane. It's insane right now. We're doing a lot of stuff.
I mean, I remember when, and I thought I said to you, I thought that it was year 21, but I'm way off. Year 23.
23 started in '99.
So I remember when there were conversations of, hey man, this thing is kind of growing. We might need to get a tax ID number. It's been a few years.
It's been a few years since then. Yeah, we're a LLC now, so we're doing the thing. I will say, though, the coolest thing about this whole organization, I think, from my perspective, I mean, obviously the helping people out is definitely the coolest thing, but other than that is that we have a volunteer base. We don't have any paid staff on our whole
Isn't
program.
that amazing?
Yeah.
Wow. How many volunteers? How many are making up the
So we have
the team?
We have our board of directors, which has 6 or 7 spots on it, and then we have my softball committee, which there are 8 of us, and that fluctuates year to year too. We're always searching for new great people to come help us out, and then we also have our golf committee now, which is run by Mark and Ruben. Stone and Browning.
Stone and Browning.
Yeah,
They do a hell of a job.
They do, man.
Who's a better golfer between the two?
Oh, jeez, I don't even know.
Come on.
I'm gonna go ahead and defer. I'm gonna punt, as they say in football.
and they do this when it's usually in like September, right?
Yeah, they do it in September. They've been doing it for a couple of years now, and I got to say, this last year they absolutely knocked it out of the park. They raised over $30,000 in that tournament alone. Yeah.
Over the course of how many days?
It's just one tournament, so one day. I mean, obviously they develop partnerships and do all the behind the scenes stuff as well.
Yeah,
but
and it's really they work at it. You have to all year long.
I have to say the coolest thing about that was I was watching a football game. Right, I was watching the Patriots play one Sunday, and a Freezing Fund for Families commercial came on, sponsored by Community National Bank. It was nuts. I called Corey. I said, Corey, do you know about we're on prime time? And he was like, I know, isn't it great?
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I remember when Corey Touchette took the wheel from Cass, who passed the baton, and he that's a tall order for Corey to do. That was a big deal. I mean, there was like a massive amount of commitment involved in this.
He still is always so committed. He's involved in everything. He's out of all the mentors that I've had in my life, he certainly is, the top of the heap. He's a great guy. He's got a heart of gold. He'll, do anything for anybody, and he just cares about this organization so much. It's intense.
I'm gonna ask you in a little bit how much money has been raised, but I want to in 22 years, but I want to go back to to the beginning of this. It started out, I believe, here in simple terms, as a one shot, one type deal where Cass was like, Cass Brissett had found out that someone in our community was fighting a fight against cancer. I'm not sure who that individual was, and said, "Hey, let's have a winter co-ed softball tournament. We'll play softball in the snow."
So I'm going to stop you real quick, because actually the first year, from what I remember, is they were trying to raise money. They did a winter softball tournament to raise money for their summer league. And then after that first year, Cass
you're
said,
going way back.
Yeah, Cass said, "Holy cow, this has some legs, and we can make this into something big time." And so the second year was the first beneficiary
Was
year.
the beneficiary year?
Yeah.
Wow. Always at Berrytown School?
Always at Berrytown. Yeah,
Isn't
those
that
guys
amazing?
have been the best partners we could ask
All
for.
of them up there.
Oh my gosh.
Chris Violet and everyone.
Yeah, they're amazing. So helpful.
Yeah.
And they're just in it. I hate to use the term well-oiled machine now, but they are in it. They're reaching out to us to make sure we have everything we need. We're working with them.
Yeah.
On the daily. It's been a really great partnership.
Yeah, they know you, you know them. It's been an amazing relationship, and really this event has become is a home for Berrytown School.
Yeah. We couldn't. I can't think of a better place.
Yeah.
To have it. The
spread
facilities are
out.
amazing. It's spread out. It
Parking, everything.
has everything we need. It's centrally located. It's
the lights.
Yeah.
You guys have played softball up there over the years in some ridiculous conditions.
Yeah.
There's been stupid cold temperatures.
Yep.
There's been rain.
Yep.
There's been a whole hell of a lot of mud.
Yeah.
There's been snowstorms.
Yep.
Like
blizzards.
Bad
Yeah.
snowstorms. And there's just been 100 below zero too.
Yeah. And a few years ago, not only was there no snow or mud, but we played the championship game on a Sunday. It was like 65 degrees out, and the field was dry and grassy. So we literally had it all.
You literally never know. Have you seen any fools out there with shorts?
Oh, constantly.
Really?
Yeah. I think that the funniest part is watching them come off the field with wearing their pants and shorts with, if there's crusty snow or something, they'll have their shins all cut up. I don't say it's funny, haha funny, but it's just these guys are so committed. The people that play are some of the most amazing people you could ask for too, right?
They are.
They come up and every year, doesn't matter what the weather is, they're in it.
Ew.
They're, nobody argues, nobody fights, nobody has anything but nice, awesome things to say. Everybody's there for the right reasons, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's there to help these families.
These are the people that are the lifeblood of our community.
You bet.
They get it. They know that it's not only serving a great purpose as a fundraiser for folks that are fighting illness, but also, let's be honest. Quite frankly, it's just a damn good time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much fun. We have teams come from all over New England, so it's not even only the local community. So we have some of our greatest supporters, and actually some folks who just recently in the last couple of years joined our volunteer committee are from Concord, New Hampshire.
Wow.
And they're doing it up. They're raising money like crazy. They're our top fundraising team for this year. It's they themselves have brought in over $8,000 already.
What?
Yeah.
So level of camaraderie is huge. What about the level of competition? People take this seriously.
There are teams that do really take it seriously. There's some teams that are in it to
in it to win it.
In it to win it, and there's some teams that are in it to see if they can raise money. But I will say, last year, as tough as it was, last year gave us an opportunity to shift our focus as an organization from hosting a softball quote tournament to hosting a softball event, and change our focus from the winning of the tournament to the fundraising opportunities that it presented. So
that's right.
That was a shift in our organization that's helped us out a lot. And last year, even though we were limited to only having 8 teams, was one of our greatest snow softball fundraising events that we've ever had.
18 teams.
8 teams. 8 teams last year we had. Yeah. And we raised over $50,000.
Last year?
Yeah, with those 8 teams and our community supporters.
8.
8. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So, but I know that you've got like there's been a dinner and a dance, kind of like a warm up to this event, which, God, I remember when that started a long time ago too, as kind of a supplemental way to spread it out, build camaraderie, have some fun, do some extra some pre fundraising, but there's also, you know, the area businesses that have pitched in and provided sweatshirts, T-shirts, and hats and koozies and
everything that we've needed, from cups to hats to the lights that we use, the portable lights for everything, the toilets, the food. I mean, you name it, and it's all donated by, you know, local communities and the greater Vermont area who's just willing to chip in and help out for the cause.
Wow, what a staple this event is. I mean, this is like, dare I say, the biggest that Central Vermont has ever had. I mean, this is tremendous.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, we're just trying to do what we can to make sure that, you know, we're supporting the community and helping out those that really need it. Do
you get to play now as the softball committee chair?
I don't know if I'd say I get to play. I don't know if I'd use that term, but I don't play. Could I play? Yeah, sure. I think so, but I'm getting too old for that.
Oh, is it about that, or is it about that you're just too damn busy?
Well, I mean, sure, but you know, I mean, it's a little bit of busy and a little bit of making sure that I'm available to help out if anybody needs anything. But at this point in my life, you know, I played for 11 years in the event, so time to step back and, you know, watch the other people run through the 4 feet of snow.
Right. And what's Corey doing during all this?
So Corey is available, you know, all the time. He's always doing something. He's, you know, talking to some of our big donors and talking to that, and he's also available on the weekend if we need him. But we're running the event and getting it done.
Wow. So we're going to talk about money here, which is, I'm telling you folks, when you hear this number, you're going to fall off your seat. But before we do, let's talk about beneficiaries. Do we know approximately how many people have benefited from the Freezing Fund for Families annual co-ed winter softball tournament?
So I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but we average about 1 to 2 beneficiaries a year. Over the past like 7 or 8 years, it's been 2 beneficiaries every year. So if we're looking at 20 years, we're probably in the range of 50 people or so. And that doesn't count our supplemental, the Connor Drury Fund, which helps out folks as soon as they find out that they have a diagnosis by giving them a quick access to some cash so that they can, you know, do whatever they need to do with it. And, you know, that's something else too that I think is really important to talk about, is that, you know, we don't attach anything to any of the money that we give, right? We give the money out, and folks can do with it whatever they want. So if they want to take their kids to Disney, or they want to, you know, do whatever it is, they can do it. We don't, the money's for them to make their lives better, to help them in their time of need, and to just make it so they have the cash that they need to do whatever they have to do.
I think that's great that's in the fine print.
Yeah.
And it should always be. I mean, that's what it's all about.
It is. Having
the freedom to make your own decision of how you want to use these funds. And cancer, is it just cancer?
Yeah. So our programs are designed right now to relieve the stress and financial hardship for children battling cancer in Vermont. So under 16 is where we're focused right now.
Under 16. Okay.
Or 16 and under, I guess.
16 and under. And has it always been that way?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's always been that way. Since I've been involved, that's what it's been. So,
okay. Yeah. And cancer is, my God, what an expensive disease to have.
Unbelievable how expensive it is.
And if you, I don't care who you are, if you think, and Rayleigh, you can jump in here anytime. If you think that, if you think you're prepared in your life with the insurance coverage that you have, you're wrong.
Right. Insurance doesn't cover groceries. I mean, you know, all of these things, right? That doesn't do anything. Yeah, your car payment, your cell phone payment, gas to get to the hospital. I mean, all of these other things, anything that you might want to do besides just, you know, pay for the bills. It's crazy. I can't tell you how many families we've had where the stories that come in is, you know, the mother or the father had to stop working to take care of
all the time.
You know, all the time it happens. And so, you know, you're going from a two income household to a 1 income household, and it's just, you know, anything that we can do to help to make that easier. You know, we one of our taglines is, you know, until there's a cure, there's Freezing Fun for Families. And, you know, we're trying to do that. And our biggest hashtag that we have is We Are Family, which, you know, we believe to the core, you know, will help out any of our beneficiaries. We still have, we talk to beneficiaries still from years past, and they come back and help and
play.
And play, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty fun to see.
What's your slogan? Until there's a cure?
Until there's a cure, there's freezing fun for families.
Wow. All right, man. Let's drop a number here.
All right.
Are you aware, Raylene, of what the number is? You're not going to believe this. Let it go. Let it fly.
Right. So in the 22 years that we've been involved in Freezing Fun for Families, we've raised over $500,000. And I will say that the last year, 2021, was the first year where we were able to actually give our softball beneficiaries $10,000 checks each before the tournament even started. So we're growing to a point where we're becoming a little bit sustainable. I mean, who knew that this COVID thing was going to be such a menace? And so our goal is to make it so we can give out this money forever. We can give out $10,000 forever, no matter whether we have
even swung a bat.
Before we even swung a bat, picked up a ball, before we even talked to the town to get a field. Yeah, this year too. We
and yet you still have folks that don't want to receive any money from you for their chili that they're putting together or their lights that they want to.
Absolutely.
Still.
Yeah.
What's that tell you?
I mean, this community is really what it is. And when I say this community, I mean, obviously the Barrie community has been an amazing place to host, but the Vermont community even, right? Because it's not only local places that are helping out here. It's bigger organizations too. It's Wind River who donates the toilets. They're not from here. That's Pike Industries who donates the lights. It's Casella who donates the trash. I mean, all these companies and organizations, Community National Bank, Northfield Savings Bank, that have been huge sponsors and helpers. I mean, all these places.
You guys can't. You can't stop them.
No.
Even if you wanted to.
Right.
It'd be in your face.
It's, I send out the emails to, Meckelson's RV that this is a great, for instance. So last year we had so few teams that the volunteers actually had an opportunity to not have to, for the first time in I think 15 years, we didn't have to stay up there for the whole weekend, right? Because we were able to organize a game so we could go home.
Imagine that.
But then so we didn't have a camper up there last year. And so I called down to Meckelson RVs, or I emailed them and I said, hey, we want to continue our partnership with you. And before I could even get the email sent, I had a reply, absolutely, what do you need? Like, it's things like that are like, they don't miss a beat. It's just, it's so heartwarming. It's beyond amazing.
This thing has exploded over the years.
Yeah.
And it has crossed way out of the border of Vermont and gotten the attention of many other states who are pretty much all saying, holy shit, are you guys seeing what they're doing up there in Vermont? I mean, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we've had teams from as far as Pennsylvania. We've had teams from Canada come in. I mean, it's been great just to see how far our reach can be. I've got a friend who lives in St. Louis, Missouri, who asks me about the event every year. So it's
wow. So eight. You said 8 teams last year.
Yep.
Why so little? Was that the COVID?
So that was because of the COVID and because
of
the COVID. The COVID.
Yeah. Oh, never say the COVID.
But yeah, so we worked really hard with ACCD and Barrytown and tried to plan an event that would keep everybody safe and make sure that we could do everything we could. So we changed the entire format. We went from a double elimination tournament to a round robin event. So we changed everything we were doing about it. We changed how we do, all that stuff. We had the ability to have, way less teams. So we'd had 8 teams total. They played 6 games and, then had the championship weekend. It was a crazy different year. But this year we're back up. We're starting to ramp things back up. Where, even last year we didn't have food. We didn't have the warming tents. We didn't have clothing sales. We didn't have, all of this stuff that we normally have, just because we were so limited in what we could do. And now we're trying to get back. So this year we're allowed to have 30 teams. We're going to, get back to more of a normal event. We're going to have our food is going to be up there. We'll have our warming tent. We'll have clothing sales. We'll have all that stuff going on. So we're getting back to it.
Who are these guys that are running this warming tent? Are they bunch of pansies?
So we actually don't have any of our volunteers run the warming tent. We just put it there in case somebody else wants to go sit in it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Right. You know, I do. I kind of do remember that, JD. I'm not sure.
You know, listen, when you guys can get a hot tub up there, then, you know, let me know.
Hey, we could probably work something out.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. So the golf tournament alone pulled in $30K
Yeah.
just this past September in one day?
Yeah.
Which really comes down to a couple of hours.
Yeah. They did, Mark and Ruben did some of the most amazing work that I've ever seen in getting sponsorships and donations and stuff. It's been insane to watch those guys work.
Now, do they come up and run around in the field and throw balls around and all that stuff?
So they'd certainly come up and help us out, I'm sure, but they didn't put in a team last year, but who knows? Maybe they'll put one in this year.
All right.
That's not a challenge, by the way, if they're watching.
Yeah, no, not love, just love.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the beneficiaries this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Year number 23.
So we have our two main beneficiaries are Zoe and Vivi.
Okay.
And you know, they're from Vermont. They're local families. They had diagnoses that both came in June and July timeframe of this past year, and they're, you know, fighting the good fight and working really hard.
Zoe and who now?
Vivi. V-I-V-I, yeah.
All right.
So yeah, Zoe's from Burlington and Vivi's from Morrisville, and they're doing some great work.
Little kids, little girls.
Very, yeah.
How old?
So one's 9 and the other one is a couple months old. Oh. Yeah, 8 months old.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we also have, this is our second year doing our Board of Directors Award. So we actually added an additional award to what we had been giving out. So every year we dedicate $10,000 to 2 different families, and it's our snow softball beneficiary.
Yes.
And then this year,
Corey's talked about this.
So this year we have our Board of Directors Award, and that's another $2,500 that we give out. And this year, a little boy named Chase was the recipient of that award. So it's been great. I mean, we're able to help, you know, more families and more
people.
It gives me chills. Gives me the goosebumps just talking about it.
My God, there's got to be. I mean, I'm tearing up over here just listening to this. There's got to be a lot of tears flowing, man.
Usually,
all the time.
And yeah, so we have one of our volunteers who'll do a Facebook Live on the closing ceremonies, and inevitably he'll, you know, do a close up of me bawling my eyes out, you know, like hugging a family or something. It's
who wouldn't?
Yeah, it's just you know, so the culmination of a long weekend of a lot of work, and then the emotions are already running high anyway. Mm-hmm. You know, trying to help these families out and making sure we do everything we can to make sure they're, you know, taken care of. And
I remember Corey telling me that there was a point at which there was a realization that this wasn't something that could be planned 3 and 4 months ahead of time, like it was in the early days. This thing turned into a year-round planning event where middle of July you're working on freezing fun for families.
Yeah, I got to say, for what it's worth, our snow softball committee meets every month of the whole year. Wow. Yeah. You know, we have our closing ceremonies for the softball, and then we'll have a dinner for, you know, all get together and just celebrate the weekend. And during that dinner, we start planning for the next year.
How do you get on this committee? What if someone listening right now wants to get involved? And there's so many different ways you can get involved. Yeah. But what about specifically the committee?
So if somebody wants to be involved in the committee, you know, as the softball committee chair, they would want to come to me. So I'd ask them to email me, chris.cadorette, CADORETTE, at freezingfunforfamilies.com. That's it. So email me, let me know you're interested, and we'll see if we can work it out. We're always interested in having folks who are, you know, want to be involved and want to do more and help out. But that's not the only way to help out, right? You don't have to be on the softball committee to help out. You can, you know, form a team, right? You can form a team, or if you don't like to play softball, you can still donate. You can still help out. As a matter of fact, this I just found out a little while back, and I think some folks might have heard it on the radio, but 802 Cornhole has named us a beneficiary for their cornhole tournament. They're doing that this Sunday. So
Raylene knows about this? Freaking Raylene knows about everything.
So they've named us their beneficiary for their cornhole tournament that they're having this weekend. So it starts out there.
I'm just writing all this down. My God, isn't that something?
It's crazy, and that it's I don't say I think things are expected because we're an organization that people want to be a part of, right? So right. I don't not expect people to want to be involved, but
right.
It's always amazing to see that there are other folks out there who are just like, hey, you guys are doing the right thing. Let's help out. Like,
and I know I sound like a broken record here because I say this every year, but I'm going to do it again this year. I have to. If for whatever reason this is not your thing, you don't have the time to volunteer or whatever, or even donate, at the absolute bare bones least, get your kids in the car and drive over.
Right, yeah, come up and watch some crazy softball.
Be a spectator and buy some chili. What's that, Ray Lee?
It's German. Yeah, it's no admission fee, so you come out of all the fun you want to for free.
Yeah.
Come buy a hat, buy a t-shirt, whatever.
Buy some apparel, buy some chili.
Right.
Get warm in the warming tent. Bring your kids over and watch a winter softball tournament for a little while and explain to your kids what is going on. Right. It's more than just a bunch of fools running around playing softball in the snow. There's a huge message here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna drop something else on you here that I don't think you know about yet, but is great. So I just actually found out this morning that you want to talk about reach and explaining it to your kids and all that kind of stuff. So the Harwood girls hockey team, right? So the varsity Harwood girls hockey team, they're doing a community awareness night, and they got jerseys made up. They're wearing Freezing Fun for Families jerseys at their game on Saturday.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So just to raise community awareness and, you talk about, like Vermont and building community and building philanthropy and doing that stuff, like doing it right.
Yeah.
Like that's an example. Like those girls are just in it. They chose Freezing Fun for Families as to recognize, and so they'll be out on the ice.
We can't say, isn't it though? We can't say Freezing Fun for Families co-ed winter softball tournament without saying the words Vermont and the words Guinness Book of World Records.
That's right. Yeah.
I think, please correct me, but was it Cass or was it Corey Touchette that said, "Yo, we need to get in touch with the folks over at Guinness"?
I think it was Cass. That was one of Cass's big things. And that year they had, I think it was 2009, and that year we had 78 teams registered. It was nuts. They had games going from 5 a.m. till 3 a.m.
So 78 teams.
Yeah, there were 78 teams that year.
But last year with 8 teams, you're saying that was a record year for funds raised?
Yeah, we had one of the best years we've ever had for funds raised. And it's about, I think, it's about changing, right, the philosophy and changing the way the organization is going from being a softball tournament, right, to being an organization who's trying to change its thing. So we had those teams. Of those teams, I think 5 of the 8 teams raised over $5,000 each. Each. Yeah.
So how much was raised in total last year?
So last year, I don't have the thing on me, but between the softball tournament and the golf event, we were around $70,000, $75,000. You know what our goal is for this year, for this event?
Yeah, what is it?
75 for this event, not for the year, just for this event. We're a little bit over a third of the way there. We've already raised over $20,000.
Damn.
Yeah. We want to be sustainable.
Team limit for this year. What?
30 teams.
30 teams.
Yep. So, and we're doing that so we can help, reduce the amount of people that are around still. COVID's a thing. So.
Correct. And you got half of that registered.
Yeah, we have 15 teams registered right now. So if you want to get in, you better do it soon because those are going to fill up quick.
How many people on a team?
So you can have, we run 10 people a team. You can do it with 9, but 10 is in their co-ed team. So 5 guys, 5 girls, 5 girls, 5 guys. It's just great to see people out there. You rotate. So a guy will bat and then a girl, so on and so forth, and flip back and forth. So it's a great experience.
What if you can't get an even split of 5 and 5?
So if you have 5 and 4, that'll work out well too. And if you
Okay.
have 5 and 3, we can always find you somebody to play. There's
Okay.
always somebody up there who's willing to toss a ball around.
But you try to keep it co-ed.
Yep.
Age limit to play, to be a member of a team.
So we generally say 16 and up.
Okay.
Just for 16 and up with parental permission, and
Sure.
and obviously, you can be as old as you want to.
Right. Well, these 16-year-olds are a hell of a lot tougher than you, Chris.
I don't know about all that, but
You you can't destroy these kids. I mean, they're
oh yeah, it's true. It's not
tougher
football.
than nails. So 30 is the cap for this year.
Yeah.
And what's the price tag?
So So $300 gets you a ticket to play. But I also want to talk a little bit about, if you don't mind, about our tiered incentive program. So
Please.
to help us in our effort to help teams and to help ourselves, obviously, and to help the families, we have developed a tiered incentive program. So if you raise $300, your team gets 1 entry to the event. If you raise $500, we're also going to throw in koozies, Freezing Fun for Families koozies for all of your teammates. And then so the next tier after that is $1,000, and this is where we partner with the Corey, actually. And they're donating gift cards, or they're working with us with gift cards in order to give all the teams some money so they can go down and celebrate their wins and losses down at the Corey. And then $2,500 will get you a travel mug cup with a Freezing Fun for Families logo on it, one for each of your team. And if you're
Wow.
and if you're awesome enough to get to the $5,000 tier, we're going to give you a set of custom made cornhole boards with the Freezing Fun logos on them and all that stuff. So you can win a lot of cool stuff, and without even buying the stuff, which we do have. Obviously t-shirts, hoodies, and all that stuff is for sale up there. We're partnering with a new company this year. We're going to be able to do on-site design or on-site screen printing, which is something we haven't done before. So it's pretty cool. They're going to have all sorts of different shirts. So if you like, this color shirt with this logo, where in years past we might not have had that, now you can get pretty much whatever you want. And then on top of that, we'll also have our local volunteers there slinging hats and scarves and those kinds of things. I think we're getting sunglasses this year, which I can't wait for. So
So amazing. Do you guys kind of scope out and stalk the weatherman in the week or weeks leading up to this event, watching to see if there's some big system that's coming out of the west or coming up from the south, and we're going to get some big ass nor'easter?
Used to.
You used to.
Yeah, but now it's just like
Enough time.
bring it.
It doesn't matter. And we're never going to hear you and Corey say, "Ooh, we got a huge nor'easter coming up, folks. We're so sorry. We're going to have to cancel the softball tournament this year."
That'll never happen.
Never.
What the only thing we might say is, hey, you better plan on leaving your house a little bit earlier, or get a hotel.
Yeah, and speaking of hotels and our restaurants and everything, you talk about the folks from out of Central Vermont that come here.
Yeah.
This has made a big economic impact on our area.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about other things you don't really think about, right?
Yeah.
So we're here to help these families, and that's the main focus, right? But of course, there's an influx of people to the community. This year with 30 teams, we'll bring 400 or 500 people into the community for that weekend. A bunch of them from out of town. They're booking up hotel rooms and all that kind of good stuff.
How do you get the cap of 30? Is that something that comes down from the state?
So this one actually didn't come down from the state. What we decided to do, we wanted to make sure that we were hosting the safest event possible, respecting everybody as far as, making sure that folks had the space to work and the space to live and the space to breathe and all that stuff. So we worked with the state a little bit. And they kind of told us what their recommendations were. And then we worked with the town, and we kind of ironed out what we thought we could do and what we thought we could make the safest tournament and safest event. And so we landed on 30 teams as being a thing that we could manage as far as spacing and getting everybody organized and spaced out so that we could, be as safe as possible.
I'm guessing there's been years where you've had to say, maybe I'm wrong, where you've had to say, "I'm sorry. We've reached our cap. We can't have you play this year."
Yeah. So I will say we try to be as accommodating as we can, right? We try to. I never want to turn anybody away that says we want to donate some money. So
right.
We certainly do the best we can to make everything work. And, whether that's, trying to figure out the brackets, me and Corey, 3 days before the event, trying to figure out how we get 2 more teams into the brackets at, late entries or whatever. But
sure.
We try to make sure that we get everything in there and get everybody involved.
Yeah. But there's been, I'm guessing, some teams that have come up anyway, even if they can't play. And
sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once you're involved in Freezing Fun, we say we are family, and we really mean that. It's not only the volunteers supporting the beneficiaries or the board supporting the volunteers, but it's the players supporting each other. We have people come up, for instance, we have had people come up from like mid New Hampshire or northern Massachusetts by themselves just to be an extra player in the weekend. Somebody needs a girl or, yeah.
I love it.
It's all of that stuff. It's crazy. It's great to see.
And you say we are family. I'm guessing that there's been maybe a few regulars over the years, maybe dare we say junkies that show up every year, that they've become kind of your family. They have to be part of this. They wouldn't miss it for anything.
I have to say, when you say that, there's 3 teams that come to mind that if I didn't see them, and that's not to take away from all the teams, but if I don't see a team Spank Puppy, I get
Spank
Puppy. Yeah, I get pretty sad if I don't see them. Concord Orthopedic is another one that I get pretty sad if I don't see them. And obviously, Team We Freeze Ours is the closest to my heart. This is the one I started a bunch of years ago, and they've been carrying on the torch. It's been awesome. They've grown insane amounts. So when I first started, I said, "Hey, we got this. We're going to do this softball thing in 2006, I think it was." And we scraped together $300, and then this past year they were, I think, over $8,000 just that team raised. Yeah.
What's the other one? Concord what?
Concord Orthopedic. They're the ones. They're from Concord, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
They're the ones I was talking about. They're we love those guys. We love all the teams.
Yeah. And I'm guessing there's maybe a little bit of loving trash talking.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't there be?
Yeah.
Right. And whether that comes from the volunteers to the players or vice versa, or but it's mostly about, like, honestly, probably the biggest sad thing about last year was that we couldn't hug. Like,
yeah.
And it's one of those things you don't think you're going to miss, right? But
right.
Seeing the teams and seeing the people we've seen every year, the perennials for the last 10, 15 years come up, and they're family.
Have we had a year when there's been like 3 inches of frozen crust on top of everything, and we have shins cut up and blood?
Of course, yeah. And the funnest part about those things is you hit an infield ball and it gets onto that crusty snow, and next thing you know, your infield ball turns into something that hits the fence in center field.
How many fields up there?
So we have the option to use up to 7.
Okay.
This year we're settled on 5 fields. So
okay.
But we could really make 8 or 9. That's the other thing about number one, what we do, and number 2, the people who come is they don't need an ASA certified official softball field, right? We get 4 cones and some space, and you're good to go. Yeah,
Vermont style.
That's right.
Damn it! What was I just going to ask you? The number of fields. Shit, just slipped my mind. But yeah. I'm working on the coffee over here. I know what it was. Entertainment.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
I mean, what's more entertaining than watching softball? But
yeah.
But we certainly have had folks in the past come up and
play guitar,
and do stuff. We've had the radio stations come up too, and
yes,
broadcast live
and keep the music pumping,
keep the music going the whole time, and all those things. But really, I mean, if the greatest entertainment that you could have up there is just watching the softball games and
watching these fools run around.
Watching these fools run around and have a great time.
Chasing after a fluorescent softball.
Or the better yet, the ones that have to dig.
Yeah.
Right, because you think about too, like not only is there the scenario where you hit an infield ball and it goes skittering across the ice, but then you hit a 55-foot fly ball into powder, and next thing you know, you got 4 guys out there digging holes in the ground trying to find this little ball while the person's scampering around the bases.
And not necessarily a guaranteed home run. Not necessarily.
I've seen.
You've seen the 10-minute dig out.
I've seen the 10-minute dig out that turned into a single. So you got somebody.
That guy's still gonna run.
Right, yeah. They hit the ball, 45 feet in the air. It comes down at the pitcher's mound in 4 feet of snow.
Oh my God!
By the time they get to first base, it's a bang bang play.
God, I don't know how many years ago it was. Many years ago, when I was up at Froggy, I went live on my phone with my nephews, who were very young at the time, and they're out of state, and I was like, I'm telling you guys, we have lost our frickin' minds up here. We're cooped up. We've been inside for the last 7 months, whatever. And we're just losing our shit up here, and everyone's gone mad. And look what's happening. We're and I would show the video to everyone playing softball, and it was just hysterical. I'll never forget it.
For me, it's how I bring in spring.
Yeah,
it's like the last winter hurrah, right?
Yeah, sure it is.
Yeah.
Sure it is. And I've seen these players come off the fields covered in snow, covered in mud, soaking wet. What's that?
With icicles hanging
Oh,
from their
God.
beard.
But here's a question for
Icicles on the beards.
you. Have you ever seen one of those players without a smile on?
Never. Never.
That's what it's about.
I've seen blood and smiles.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's teams that are, we'll have tournament teams come up who play tournaments all around New England. And, there's a couple of them. So those are we talked before about the competitive teams versus the fundraising teams.
Yeah.
And there's some crossover there too. But, the great thing about that is these guys, don't like each other during the year. They're, playing for real money and playing for real pride and stuff. And they come up here and they're hugging and, having a good time together and hanging out. And there's, high-fiving and laughing at each other. It's great.
Tell me about food. Because that always tends to get my attention.
Yeah, so this year we've partnered with Jockey Hollow and the Gut Truck.
Yeah.
So they're going to be coming up this year, and they're going to be slinging breakfast, lunch, and dinner for us up there.
Wonderful.
A little bit different than years past, where years past we had the Jockey Hollow catering car up there for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Now what they're going to do is bring their to-go food truck up a couple times a day, so that we're gonna be serving food around breakfast, lunch, and dinner time, and just making it happen.
What time are we going to start playing? Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. First weekend in March.
Yeah. So the first weekend in March 4th will be our opening pitch, and we'll do that after work. So around 6 o'clock at night. We don't have the exact schedule set out yet. It really depends on the teams.
Okay.
And then Saturday morning we'll get kicking off around 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and we'll go until we're done. On Saturday, so it's usually between 7, 8, 9 p.m. when we'll finish. Okay. And then on Sunday, we usually like to try to have our championship game around noon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And that's some great softball. Like that's where you really see some great softball. Like it's fun and games on Saturday, and everybody's having a great time. And then Sunday, you have some, the competitors come out, and we have some great softball.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. So you have fond memories of games starting as early as...
I've personally played at 5 a.m. and I've also played at 2 a.m. So I don't know if you want to call 2 a.m. early or late, but yeah, I remember, back in the day going to the local bar after our 6 p.m. game, knowing we have to be back up at the field at 2 a.m. to play our next game. So yeah.
Wow.
Go get dinner and have a drink or two and
warm up.
Yeah.
Clean change of clothes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, oh my God! Wow, if you're lucky,
right?
So, folks that are listening now, they've got coworkers, they have family or friends, and they're thinking about forming a team.
Yeah,
you're looking for 10 players.
Yep.
9 if you have to, but please try to get 10.
Yep.
and reach out to you? What's
No,
the
so if
easiest
they go
way?
on to, so if you want to register a team, go to freezingfunforfamilies.com.
Yeah.
And then go down and click on the team register button. It'll bring you to our registration site.
Easy.
We started last year, and it's actually really cool. We started last year with an online registration where we can also track donations. So not only do we have now, not only do we have now the ability for our teams to see what other teams are raising, but to set that competitive goal of, hey, I want to beat that team. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
We know the perennial top fundraising teams, but there are teams out there that are getting close.
Sure.
You know, the new ones are coming through. So just, you know, developing that there. Another thing I want to,
man, you have to. Go ahead.
Sorry. Another thing I want to say around the fundraising thing is too, when you're planning your fundraising and you're planning, we also do this thing called run flags, which is a really cool little thing that we made up a couple years ago to help teams that maybe weren't the best softball players but could raise a whole lot of money. So every $1,000 you raise, we'll give you what we call a run flag, and it's literally a flag on a pole.
Yep.
And you can turn that flag in for a free run whenever you want to.
Yes.
So if you're the home team,
was it Corey that started that? Somebody did.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it wasn't Corey, but I'm also not gonna say it wasn't me who had the idea. You know, I try to be, you know, not to humble brag, but
yes, and you can use that anytime you want.
Yeah, anytime you want to. So if you're a team that's losing and you're down by 1, or you're down by 2 or 3, depending on how much money you raise, and you know, you're just like, you know what, I don't want to play, you know, the home team in the bottom of the last inning, and I don't want to play anymore. Here's 3 run flags, we win.
I was just gonna say,
Yep.
you can win.
Yeah. We've had it done all the way. I mean, it's been a fun and interesting part, right? Because it adds a whole nother dynamic to the game. Because
Of course it does.
if you see somebody rolling up to you and they have 7 or 8 run flags,
Yeah.
you know you have to win by at least 9 runs in order to win.
Right. It's an insurance contract. That's so cool. I love that. That's such a great idea. Let's give some kudos before we wrap here to who's running your website, who built it, who's managing it, and your social media too.
So our board is actually doing that right now. We have our board of directors. Judy Emmons is pivotal in our developing of our webpage and our stuff. And Sarah Childs, who's the chair of our board, runs our social media.
All right.
As well as Corey. I mean, he doesn't really do a ton of stuff because we don't want him to touch the Facebook as much as
Sure. Is Corey still wasting all of his time with this full-time job that he's doing?
Yeah, you know, he does have a full-time job. That man is always on the go. I don't understand it. I'll send him a Facebook message, just a reminder of something I want to talk about the next day at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he immediately responds pretty much all the time. It's crazy. He's an inspiration for sure.
Please tip our hat to Corey when you see him next, and
Absolutely.
your whole board and your whole committee and all of your volunteers that are doing this. I love having you on here, man. I mean, this is the biggest staple that we've got in Central Vermont, bar none. And you guys are just kicking ass. I mean, talk about a way to give to your community. I mean, this is massive. There's so many stories that have come out of this over the last 22 years, but year 23 is the first weekend in March.
That's right. March 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Berrytown Recreation Fields.
4, 5, and 6. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And if you want to stay warm and still help out and want to be involved, please come to the dinner and silent auction that we have. So we haven't really talked about that.
No, we haven't. We forgot. It's Saturday the 26th.
Yeah, the weekend before, the Saturday evening before at the Elks Club in Barrie.
5 o'clock.
Yep, they'll host us there. It's 5 o'clock is cocktail hour and 6 o'clock is dinner, and we have a silent auction there too. We'll have some pretty cool stuff. I've been working with the local community, and there's a gentleman who's trying to get his name out there. He doesn't have a business name yet, so I can't share it. But he's donating some pretty cool autographed sports memorabilia to raffle off, and it's going to be a cool time.
I remember there was Tom Brady stuff. There was I don't know if it was a helmet or football, but Celtics. I remember. I remember.
This year we have a DJ Metcalf jersey, I think.
Wow.
as well as a Kamara autographed helmet from the Saints.
I wonder if we can get a Tom Brady. Is anything signed by Tom Brady? I wonder what the opening bid would be.
I don't know.
Saying.
We've had a couple things in years past, and they're pretty expensive. His autograph goes for a lot, and I can't imagine it's gone down since he.
Yeah, I know. I know. Dude, you guys are crushing it, and of course on Facebook.
Yep.
Yes,
you can find us on Facebook at Freezing Fun for Families. Our website, freezingfunforfamilies.com. You can go there and find all sorts of information. If you need anything else, you can reach out to me directly at chris.cadorette@freezingfunforfamilies.com, or you can call me at 802-498-3884.
One more time.
802-498-3884. If you're a business member looking to help support, or if you have a question about entering a team or anything, please give me a call. We also do field sponsorships too. So just, if there's any businesses out there that are interested, we have availability or the ability to make a banner with your team, with your company name on that'll be displayed out for everybody to see through the weekend. And we call the field by your company name, and it's a great thing. We're really trying to do it.
The largest winter co-ed softball tournament
in the world.
Yeah. Right here
in Barrie, Vermont.
A couple of miles from where we're sitting right now.
Can you believe it?
Unbelievable. Dude, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And if there's anything else that we have forgotten today that we want to push, you're going to tell me.
Absolutely.
And we'll get it on here for sure. And we'll be talking about this leading up to the first weekend in March as well. But
sure thing.
Anything else?
No, I think we covered it all. I just want to say thank you, first of all, just if I can, just thank you for all the volunteers. Thank you for all the sponsors.
Yeah.
Thank you for the community. And thank you to everybody who participates and makes this thing, what it is. We couldn't do it without you, and we want to try.
Amazing. Thanks for coming in, Chris.
Thanks.
Our sponsors today, Barslow Construction, one of our presenting sponsors, Granite City MMA, and Preston's Kia. You got the list right in front of you. As a matter of fact, Jason Trombley is going to be in here in just a little bit from Preston's. Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance, Wright Electric, Wood Doodles, Donnybrook Fight Promotion, the Barrie Montpelier Times Argus, the Cornerstone Restaurant, Emsley's Florists and Gifts, Giroux General Transport, Fontaine Forestry and Millwork, Green Mountain Mulch, Fecto Homes, Salvador and Babbitt, Central Vermont Chamber of Commerce, Barrie Area Development, FGB Theaters, Gusto's, CW Creative, and Vermont Custom Woodworking. Of course, we're live at the ASB Financial property here at 185 North Main Street in the heart of the Granite City, Barrie, Vermont. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you again at 11 o'clock.